come out here, reading some of the comments on some of their little pages, and somebody sent me some screenshots, but one of them was supposed to be from like a local person. I guess they are a local person. Anyway, they said, I had a pasture where all the mules are starving to death on. This pasture is 60 acres, got its own pond, it's big, and it's raining out today, so they're not fluffy. I mean, the rain's pouring. It's a good drizzling, misty ass rain right now. It's going to rain again tomorrow, so their hair ain't fluffy. They're soaking wet. And you can see this is the mules that are out on pasture, not at the house. For one, there's 60 acres here of pasture, so they can eat all the pasture that they want. Some of the back ones back there, it's got fescue on it and all that kind of deal. Also, we keep round bells out constantly. All the hay they want to eat. You can just see the tons of hay, where you can see where all the hay's been fed. So there's hay bales out here constantly. We dump them by the load, you know, not just one at a time, but by the load. And there's 12 mules. They're like, oh, there's 3 mules for every one at the house. There's 12 mules total. All right. And so this is them. There's none of them are freaking skinny at all. This is all of them soaking wet. Most of these are colts that are out of good moms, or things that we hadn't had time to ride or get along with. You know, some have never been started. Some of them ride good, and just, you know, you can only have so many at the house to ride at a time. Like that's a finished pack mule. It rides and packs and everything. I've got some others at the house. Same with that one. You can see the brands on their shoulders. So them two both, they ride and do everything. So I've got 2 more at the house just like them, so I don't need it. This is one I raised up from a baby. This is Axe here. He's out of a real nice pleasure mare, so I'm just waiting on time to get him to do. That one rides and does everything already. And Stetson. That's one that we got. We rode it just a few times, Bullseye. I just hadn't had time to finish riding it because it was real skinny when we got it. Not now. You can see it's fat now. When we got it, it was just really too skinny to really worry about riding from the folks. And I honestly don't even know what mule that is. So I don't even know. Oh, I think that's the one that Chris French started at the Texas Mule Trainers Challenge. It's a brother to Ty's, and I never have got a chance to get it going anymore and stuff, but it's just been waiting on pasture. But it come through the American Mule Trainers Challenge, and they run them through the loose pen at the Ada, Oklahoma sale, and sold them for kill weight. And I didn't want to see him get killed because Chris French had already put some weekend in him, and you know, and I knew Ty's was doing good, and I didn't want to see him get his head cut off, so I bought him, but I didn't have time to mess with him. Like I said, and that's Bullseye. So now, what sounds more likely to you guys in reality? That I take perfectly good fat mules and put them out on pasture to starve to death, because that's a smart thing to do, and then I can bring them back to the house and fatten them back up and spend that much more time and fatten them up? Or that occasionally we buy some mules or horses that are skinny because people ain't able to feed them, and that's why they're having to get rid of them and sell them. They're not able to take care of them, and because they're skinny, we turn them out on a 60-acre pasture with all the hay they can eat until they get fat enough to bring to the house to finish out training, so they'll be ready for sale. Now, somebody seeing something doesn't mean that they understand what they're seeing. They might not have the mental capacity to understand what they're seeing. So if there's a mule or a horse that ends up out on pasture and it's skinny, is it more likely I took a really fat, pretty horse or pretty mule and starved it to death because I don't have nothing else better to do? Or I felt sorry for some horse or mule that was skinny, and the people didn't have a 60-acre pasture to put it on, and they didn't have access to hay like I do. So I bought it and put it on pasture until it got fat enough to bring in and go ahead and train it and finish it off. See? That's what I'm saying. You know, they want to go around and take pictures of these starved down mules or whatever it is they're doing and post it like that's on purpose. They're not understanding. Like that mule, I got it in on, they said, train one and we'll give you this one. Well, that one was skinny. So we trained the other one, kept that one. It was too skinny to ride. That one was skinny when I got it. Turned it out till it got fat. You know, so Stetson was skinny when I got him. He got fat. So that's your reality. I just had a horse here local that they're like, we cannot get weight on it. We don't have pasture. We don't do anything. I left it out here all spring, all summer. Fed it, I think, wormed it multiple times, and it just wasn't gaining weight. And so we pretty much just give it away. And was like, hey, this thing's not going to make it through the winter out here, you know. So if you drove by and you seen a skinny horse, you know, that's the thing. It wasn't. Its options was to be shot in the head. It was too skinny to go to a kill pen. It was not going to be. They could not sell it to a kill pen. They could not feed it. They could not get weight on it. They did not have no pasture for it. It needed extra attention. It needs to be obviously grained up every day, whatever its issue is. But it was a real nice, gentle horse. His kids was riding it. He's a friend of mine's brother down there in Jonesboro. And I said, well, we'll turn it on pasture and see if it gets any better. Well, it really didn't, you know. And like I said, I don't have the time to. And it's a horse, so I don't really need it. But I gave it all spring and all summer trying to get fat. You know, all the hay it could eat and all the grass it could eat on a 60-acre pasture. So that horse came with a problem. I didn't give it the problem. I was a chance for it to do that. So I pretty much give it away and was like, there you go. You know, here's a gentle, super broke gaited horse. All you got to do is get it fat. It's going to need to be grained every single day. It's going to meet on a regular worming program. Whatever its issue is, there you go. So that's the reality. And this is the mules on pasture. And there's exactly, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11. I thought there was 12, but maybe I'm missing one. No, there it is, right over there. So there's 12 of them. 12 on pasture. So, and that's it. So we used to have the Fryer pasture. Mr. Fryer died. So his son took that over. They got cattle on it now. This is the pasture we use now. So there you go.